Oh, right, yes, come on, good boy. Hi, everybody. Well, we're back in the polytunnel. I've had a bit of a clear out. Let me show you what I'm going to do today. Well, as I say, I've been clearing out yesterday and I've got things to a pretty nice state. In other words, I've got some containers in now which have got some earth in, ready to be planted in. I've moved the table along, as you can probably see here, and that's given me a bit more area just to stack some tubs down the other end there. So I'll walk you around roughly what I've done. Let's show you. So under this table, I've got the rhubarb, which is starting to take root again. That's what I've had in here all since last year, but as I say, it's starting to sprout up now. So I've put a bit more earth. I've agitated the soil around it, and I've put some more earth in there, and I'm going to probably feed that as well. So I've got some empty containers down there. I've got Barney down there. I've also got some watering cans there. I've not painted this table yet, because simple reason being I run out of stuff. And I thought I had a tub of it, but I obviously haven't. So I'm going to use this as a sort of a planting table, and maybe to put some troughs and seedlings along the top there. And further down here, I've put these trays. I had these trays which I didn't know I had floating about, and I'm going to actually stand pots in there, and I can actually water the tray as opposed to having to come in and water individual pots, so that they can sit in there for quite a longer period of time without actually having to worry about them drying out. I've got these large containers, and the earth's been all dug over by hand basically and loosened all up, and all the roots and all the old stuff taken out. I will refeed these again, but as I say, at the moment, looking around the polytunnel, I've got some more over here as well, and I'm going to finish off with a few more down there because I've got a few more to clear up yet. So, and if we go outside, I'll just show you roughly where I've got to outside. I had so many pots that needed digging over and removing all the old stuff from last year. That's what I've been doing, and I'm left with this at the moment. So as you can see, the raised bed at the moment is just overfull with earth. I've still got to use some of that earth and refill up some more containers I've got. I've got them two there to go. I've got another big one there, that one over there, and over here I've got this one here as well. So you can probably see over the back there, I've got all my other pots that are just stacked up over there. And yeah, we're doing all right, we're getting there, so it's taken time. So what I basically plan to do today is to plant the onion sets that Pete Froud sent me. I'll show you them in a minute. But first of all, I'd like to have a little shout out for one of our other viewers. We got Aaron Worthington, who's got, I think it's a TGB, what is it? I did write it down. He's got a TGB 303R Hawk, which is a 125 TGB. And I think he's having trouble looking for spares for it. Now, when I've been working on the other TGB moped, as you probably know, spares are pretty hard to come by. But I've been using the Chinese Motorcycles Online, or Chinese Scooters Online website, which is quite good as well. So Aaron, if you are watching, give that a go, but also do check eBay as well, obviously. I mean, you know that eBay is the source of all stuff you can think of. So that's another place I've looked at. Or just type in TGB into eBay and just see what comes up, and you have to narrow your search down, obviously. It could be TGB 303R, for example, or TGB Hawk, or just type that into Google and see what comes up. I think it was after a will. So if anybody else knows any good sort of TGB spare places for the TGB mopeds, just put a little note in the comments below, and hopefully Aaron there will have a look and possibly see it. So that's that anyway. Now the onions, as I said, Pete Froud has sent me some onion sets, which we're going to plant today. Now I've never planted onions before, I'll be honest with you, and I've watched a few videos and stuff, and I've seen people say that you can overwinter them outside and they need a bit of frost and all that, but I don't know anything about all that. All I know is I've got these little miniature onions now, and I was watching Allotment Diaries videos. That's Dan from Allotment Diary, by the way. I'll put a link in the description to the video which I actually watched. Dan, I get quite a few tips off of Dan, and he's got a proven track record. If you watch his videos, he's doing the stuff he's doing. He shows vegetables as well, so he obviously knows his stuff. He knows how to produce the vegetables. He knows little tips and tricks for getting little heads up or head start on the growing season, so to speak. And what he's advised is that you can actually get your little onions, and rather than plant them into the beds and plant them out, because it might be a little bit too cold at this time of the year, they really should be planted out maybe next month or whatever. and he recommends starting them off in little seed trays and plomping one per seed container, keeping them out of the frost, so to speak, and then in a month's time they've had a head start. When you normally would plant them out, the roots would have established in the actual little containers, and as a result of that, you just pop that out and pop that into your where you're going to plant them or whatever. I'm thinking of planting them in containers anyway, because I haven't got much ground space here. I was going to plant them in the raised bed, but I want to keep the raised bed for carrots and also my brassicas, like my cabbages and stuff like that, and you know, that's what I was keeping the raised bed for. But anyway, let me get these onion sets out now, and we'll actually plant them up in some seed trays, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Right, okay, well, here's the little onions that Pete sent me. They're apparently Centurion onion sets, and these are what I'm going to be planting. Now, I've got these little 40 cell seedling packets here. So what I'm going to do is to obviously fill these up with compost and just pop one of these in each sill and keep them sort of in here under cover, so to speak, out of the frost. So hopefully within the next 3 or so weeks they'll develop a root bed, and all I need to do then is to actually just pop out the little onion and the soil, and then plonk that straight into the ground, hoping that the roots have established as well. It just gives them a head start. So that was from Dan from Allotment Diary, so thanks for that little tip, Dan, so watching your video there. So I'm going to give that a go. One other thing as well is that while I was clearing out all my empty containers, I come across this inside. Now, I don't know if any of you know what that is. They're sort of single. That was obviously a stem going to something. I don't know what it was. But this is obviously from the root bed. And as you can see there, there's loads of little sort of, well, whatever they are, I don't know. I haven't got a clue what they are. The only thing I can think of, I was growing some sort of root vegetables, but I don't actually know what would grow in a cluster like that, or is that some sort of freak of nature? Here's another couple of them, individually, look. There you go, I don't know if you can see them, look. That's what I've got there, and I haven't got a clue what they are. They're obviously dried up now, so they've obviously been out for a long period of time. But that was just in a load of earth when I was emptying out some of the pots. I don't know which one it come from, and if you've got any idea as to what they are or what that was, just leave some sort of note in the comment section below. I've never seen anything like that before. I don't know what that could be. That's obviously a stem coming out of the ground or out of the pot. But what they are, I haven't got a clue. So there we go, just a little puzzle for you. And also, while I was in digging out these trays, I found I've got some stuff. I've got a brand new tin there, so I will be painting this a little bit later on. So I've just given myself a bit more work there. And what I've also brought the other day, I brought 3 sets of seed potatoes. I've gone for the Marish Piper. I've gone for King Edwards as well. So I'm going to give them a go. And I've also got Charlottes. So these are the 3 potatoes which I'm going to start off planting in some of these pots which I've got here at the moment. So anyway, let's get on with this first of all. So initially, I'm just going to fill this. What I should have is one of those trays under here, I think. Let me just, if I pinch one of these trays, I can probably, in fact, I might even leave one of these up here. It's probably a better idea, isn't it? Let's make a bit of space. Otherwise, what's going to happen is everything's going to, when I start using this as a planting table, the earth I put in, any overspill is going to go through there and onto the floor, and I'm going to have to clear it up. So I think having that tray there is probably going to be a good idea. So if I use this just to, as I say, just fill these up. I think there's about 50 onion sets which I've got here, what Pete sent me. So it's very nice to receive stuff off your subscribers. I've just looked at my subscription level and I'm nearly up to, I think I'm about 40 off of 3,000 at the moment. And if you remember rightly, on my 2,000 subscription, I've done a giveaway of some t-shirts and some other stuff as well. So I'll probably hang fire on the 3,000, maybe when I get to 5,000. If I'm lucky enough to reach that far, I'll do another giveaway of sorts. So, I mean, you can help me get to increasing my subscription level, because I mean the more I can do, the more subscribers I get, I mean the more I can actually give away as well, because I'm planning on doing a few more competitions when I get enough people, obviously, in my subscriber list. So it's a way that I can give back to the people, and it's a bit of fun as well, isn't it, having a competition, especially when you haven't got to pay anything to join the competition. So just by leaving your sort of your comment below saying that you want to take part or you want to be considered for the competition. So yeah, I mean, by all means, if you can share my channel, I'll be most grateful for that. Even if you put a link to one of my videos on your Facebook profile, for example. And that's how we got to grow, because we ain't lucky enough to have the media sort of look after us for advertising us. We've got to sort of get our own self out there. And if you like the sort of thing I got, and maybe you might help me to grow my channel by, as I say, just posting one of my videos on your profile or something. Anyway, that's that. So right, I've got that like that. I've filled up these 40 cells at the moment, and apparently there's two ends to an onion. There's the pointed end and the root end. The pointed end is the end that faces upwards, and the root end is the bit that goes down. That's the plug sort of end. So, and all you basically do, I'm told, is just literally plump them in to each cell like that. So I'm just going to quickly zoom through these now and put these in here, and I'll see you again in a second. Right, there we go. There's two lots there, sewn. I call that sewn. I'll just put them to one side. So yes, I'm well pleased with that. That's my first lot of official sowing of this growing season. So yeah, I think they're going to be okay there. So that's, I'm all right. I'm happy with that. So let's just take a little look now at these seed potatoes. These are the Maris Piper. Now again, I don't know whether these are ready yet to go into the ground. I'm not too sure. I'll have a look at them. I know you're supposed to chit them, so to speak. In other words, sit them in a little container. In fact, I could probably use that. So if I just sit these, they've got little shoots on them, only small ones, but maybe they could come on a little bit more. So I think normally you would put these into egg containers, but I haven't got egg containers, so I'll have to make use of these. And I probably could let these go probably just a little bit longer. So I'm going to just sit these outside in the polytunnel, and I'll probably let them just stay here for maybe another week or so. So I'm going to probably just leave these as they are. I'll stand these over here as well. And I'll do this exactly the same with these. I don't think they're ready yet. Although, I don't know, maybe I could plant them out. I'm not too sure, but this seems like a good thing to do. Just to let them breathe a bit more and let them just grow on a little bit more to develop a few more shoots. As you probably know, we don't know how long these have been sitting in the shops for. So these are the King Edwards. They look okay, and I was also told as well that if they've got roots growing all over them, like top and bottom, pull the weaker ones away, or at the bottom for example, and just leave the top shoots there. So I've just done that with that one. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here, because as I say, these are shop brought ones, and there's not really many shoots on them. They feel okay. They're a little bit soft, but I suppose that's okay. And I'll sit them up like that. and we'll put the Charlottes at the other end. And hopefully, maybe in a week or a couple of weeks' time, I can plant these in the pots like I've done last year. So this will do for now. I have experimented with sweet potatoes because I eat a lot of sweet potatoes, and I haven't had much joy at all with them. But they really need to go into the ground, I think, and I haven't got enough ground space at the moment allocated so I can grow them in the ground. So I'll have to wait for them. So those ones there are the King Edwards. So let's put these to one side. Keep them so I know exactly what I want. Right, okay, that's fine. So that's that done now. I dug up an old potato bag which I cut off last year, maybe September last year, and I actually dug out the bag to empty, obviously, the earth out of it. And I came out, I found these in there, look. These are obviously small potatoes. I don't think I could do anything with them. As you can see, they're all tiny little potatoes. And there's a root. They obviously haven't developed, basically, but they've been sitting in the earth. If I can do anything with these, please let me know. I don't know whether I can maybe leave these out to dry or whatever, or not dry, but leave them out in perhaps a container like this, for example. And will they develop roots? I don't know. Or are they too small? Let me know anyway, because I don't really know too much about, obviously, how and when you can plant a potato and how big it needs to be. So that would be handy if I could grow them. It'd be interesting. They was probably sitting in there for about 4 months before I turned it up and out these pops. So yeah, there we go. Let us know what I can do with them. Right, well, as you can see, I've now started planting. So this is my first lot of things. This is the first time I've been able to come out here and actually do some work out here, and it feels quite good actually. Barney's back to his normal thing. Come here, come on up, Barney, come on up, Barney. Barney's up to his normal tricks of sniffing in every corner, but I've actually gone round that ground sheet and done some more stapling where I had missed out before, and that's why the weeds were coming through the edges. So anyway, thanks very much for watching this little video. This is one of my first of my planting seasons now. I'm just going to put these all to one side now. So I'm just going to give this table now a coat of the fence paint, and I'll see you again in the next video. Thanks very much. Bye for now.